be here, and Kondo said he would be here. So Amanda, is she
Amanda's,
coming?
yeah, Amanda's coming. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know what we do without her.
Well, hopefully, I don't think you get the trolls that I get. I don't
No, no,
understand
definitely
what
not.
happens. I
I
have
never
no
have.
idea.
Even when Ani was at his biggest, and you're talking hundreds of thousands, whatever, and millions of
Mhm.
views a week, and I never had an issue.
Mhm.
Never had a bad comment, nothing.
Yeah. I don't know if it's his name. Maybe because I know like Percy is like a popular name right now. Hey, service dog. Like Percy Jackson, that movie. I noticed when I would put Percy there for a little bit, he got more views than he does now because that was a movie. Hey Amanda. So I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, but I have a lot of trouble with that. I don't like we don't on our regular lives, but that's during the day. But if I do them in the evening, I have a lot of trouble.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hey,
no
everybody.
idea.
We
Yep.
got 7 people so far. There's Lori.
Hey.
Okay, so you brought water, so did I.
Yeah, I got well water. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, I was really happy to get some well water. That's why I put it in my fancy cup because I was so happy about it.
Oh my gosh. That's too funny.
Mhm.
That is too funny.
Yeah.
Hi, Rebecca.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah, what's everybody doing tonight? We were talking about water. I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna talk about a funny parrot. It's called was it called Kokapo? Kakapo? You had suggested
No.
you had suggested that as a possible topic, so I
Yeah,
looked it
I
up.
think I sent you I remember seeing that name. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, they're
But
awesome.
condos in the
So,
house. Get
I
your
wanted
laughs
to
on.
I wanted to first touch upon, did anybody see Ozzy Osbourne's little funeral service that went through
No, I didn't.
Birmingham? No, it was
I
really nice. There were about 6 to 8 vehicles. They were like big pretty black cars, and their hearse is different than ours. Looks different, and it's has much more glass so you can see inside, and the flowers were purple and said Aussie, and there was a purple cross on top, and people that lined the streets, they were throwing flowers, and by the time they got to their destination, the whole hood of the hearse was a layer of flowers. And they had a 6-piece horn band that marched in front of them. It was a little odd, but it was really cool, kind of
Mhm.
reminded me of the old Italian weddings where they
Yeah.
marched through the street playing
Yeah.
the Louisiana Mardi Gras blues or whatever. And so they marched through and they played renditions of all his music.
Oh, neat. That's
And
neat.
and the people kept chanting, "Thank you, Ozzy. Thank
Oh,
you,
neat.
Ozzy."
Oh, neat.
So they got to where they were going to go, which is they have a big memorial bench that's kind of on a bridge for him. I think they've always had it, and
Mhm.
everybody all week has been laying down notes and gifts and flowers, and it got to be massive. But for this occasion, I saw that they organized it and condensed it down some because it was covering the street and everything.
Oh,
And,
nice.
so they stopped there, and Sharon, Jack, and Kelly got out of the car. Sharon looked really frail. She was barefoot. I'm wondering if they were worried about her walking in her heels, you know?
Oh, maybe. Mhm.
And, the other daughter, Amy, showed up, and brothers and sisters, and, they paid their respects there, and that was pretty much it. They drove on to where the real funeral is, and it's private, and
Mhm.
though some people like Elton John and all that have been very close to him
Mhm.
will come. It almost was like the Queen's funeral. Scott said, "You
Yeah.
think that's big?" He goes, "Wait till Elton." He thinks that's gonna be a really
Oh,
big deal.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did also I don't know if this is true, but I saw a couple different articles, supposed like little clips that Phil Collins is now on hospice. Is that have you
Oh,
I guess he did his last concert. Again, it might not be true. I didn't click it or anything like that, but I did see a couple articles, but I was afraid it was clickbait, so I didn't click it, but that's what I
yeah,
heard. Yeah.
yeah.
I meant to, like, actually Google it and see if it was true, but I haven't had the
I was kinda
chance.
surprised to hear that Elton was coming because from what I saw lately, he's pretty immobile now, you know? I
Mhm.
think that last tour he did was probably his last.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think he ended it with "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road," and he was walking down a yellow brick road, so
Oh,
it probably was his last tour.
mhm. Yeah, somebody asked me how my, well water is. It's wonderful. Not all well water is the same, but this is some good stuff that my friend brings me. Um, well, I saw a video of Hawk, like, a week before he passed, and it looked to me like he couldn't hardly walk.
He couldn't.
Co
He
'Cause,
was
course, those wrestlers, man, they take a beating, and I think they use a lot of things they shouldn't be using to be able
yeah.
to perform that way, and, yeah, it really looked like he was already in bad shape. I wasn't surprised by that at all, honestly.
Didn't know he wasn't a not nice person till after
Yeah.
he died. I didn't
Oh,
know
really?
any of the things
Mm,
I know now. I was like,
yeah,
"Gee,
yeah,
so much for a
um,
childhood little idol." When I was real
yeah,
little.
excuse me, my nose is, like, itching. I can't remember what that means, but that's an old wives' tale of something, but, uh so I was really into WWE as, like, as a
Oh,
teen.
yeah? Yeah?
Yeah,
Remember
and
Superfly and all of them.
yeah, I like,
And Andre the Giant and yeah.
yes, I loved him, and I loved, Macho Man Randy Savage. I don't know why. I loved
Jerry
his wife,
Jerry says
Elizabeth.
Phil Collins is not in hospice, but
Okay,
but
okay.
he is in
He
a
is
the
not.
hospital.
Okay. Thank you
So,
for looking that up because I haven't had the chance to do it, and I've seen that article. Like I said, I kinda suspected it was maybe clickbait, but thank you for looking that up, or if you already knew it, thank you for telling me because I was like, "My gosh, what is going on?"
so for anyone that's in England or anyone that really cared about him, we send our condolences to
Mm,
Ozzy's family and all his
yeah,
family. Okay, this
yeah.
cocoa pod bird. I got it. I'm
I
working an iPad, and I don't do iPads. I do Android,
I
so this
gotta
is a
look
little
it up, so tell me t can you tell me how.
okay. Can you see that well?
Yeah, I see it. What's the name?
It's C it's sorry, Kakapo, Kakapo. Where is this?
Okay.
And they're funny. I wanna say little guys, they're not. They're huge, huge chubby things.
Oh,
See if
wow.
I can get another good picture. Yeah, they aren't really great quality. Here's one that might be great, but it doesn't show how big. This is a small one. This has gotta be a chick because 'cause they're very huge.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was looking.
And they had a
I've
viral
never.
video going around. See if I can YouTube, um, of a kokopo. It's the first time I think most of us have ever seen one,
I've never seen one, yeah.
and, you'll love this. Alright. In a minute. Okay, so there he is. They don't fly.
Oh,
They roam around on the, jungle
other.
floor, and they're very endangered, and but they have this really great, what would you call it? Foundation or whatever. They're raising them, and they're saving them, and they're doing a great job. Now, I don't know how true it is, but they said in this little documentary they're not very bright.
Oh,
Parrots are known to be so smart. These guys are a little dumb, as you're about to see. He's trying to bait the guy's head.
Oh my gosh.
He's
Oh
that
my head.
he's that confused. He's a wild
Oh,
bird, and he's that confused. And like
that's
I said, not very smart. They walk right up
yeah.
to people and everything,
Those
which
are
is
they look
probably
they
why. Oh my god, this is hysterical.
it's probably why they're going extinct if they're
Yeah. I mean,
dumb.
in all honesty, that's like, I always laugh and say that's why axolotls are going extinct. It's because
Because
they have 0
they're not
brains,
the
and
sharpest
they're
tool in the shed
you
either.
drop the food with an axolotl, and the food drifts by, and about 3 seconds later, nothing there, and we're
That's
always
funny.
laughing, like, how did they survive through history at all? And now we see
Yeah.
why they're extinct.
That, they look like a conure to me or a big parakeet in a way, like a mix of
Yeah,
a
just fat,
yeah,
just
like
really
a
fat.
yeah, that's really funny. Very interesting looking, huh. Buster's a ground dweller too, so, I mean, he's not allowed to fly because yeah, he goes to an attack mode, but that's I've never heard of those before, ever.
Aren't they neat? I wanna see
Mhm.
one.
Have you heard of them before, though?
Not until that video. Like I said,
Yeah.
several years ago, it went viral because
Hmm.
it's so funny because the bird's so stupid.
Yeah,
The
that's
whole
funny.
video was really funny. That was just a little piece of it and
Clip of
stuff,
it,
and it
yeah.
went viral, and so that's when I don't think anybody had ever heard of those things until that video went around?
Yeah. They call them modern dinosaurs too, I see. Like,
I
when I Google,
figured
they say, "The strangest parrot in the world, modern dinosaurs. Very rare plump parrot that lives in New Zealand. Its inability to fly, that it's nocturnal, and that it's nocturnal make it the strangest."
it's
That's all I can see.
nocturnal. I never
Mhm.
heard of bird being nocturnal.
I
Am I
haven't either.
ignorant or are they rare?
Are they what?
Am I ignorant that there's nocturnal
No.
parrots, or
I
is it just
that's
them?
the first of I've ever heard. I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole with this. We'll have to continue on. We'll have to educate ourselves a little more on it and then
Yeah.
talk about it again on, take off on that again.
But maybe we can touch on it next time on your
Yeah.
channel,
Yeah,
and
that's
I'll
what I was
keep those
saying.
videos and pictures
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah,
Okay.
I now I wanna read about them. But well, what I did, I just Googled parrot news, popular parrot news, and that screenshot I sent you had, like, 5 or 6 things, so
Oh, I just Googled dumb parrot and it came right up.
um, but I still would like to make a toy sometime as well as, like, we
Yeah.
all talk and everything. Yeah, um, just to show it could be done.
What's Condo saying
When
here? Problem is that they are not immune to their own venom. We're talking about venom now.
how did we get onto Venom?
I know, we're talking about venom. I'm scrolling
Yeah,
back up
yeah.
because I guess we're missing something good. I don't see it, don't know why he's talking about venom. We were
I don't
talking about
know.
Phil Collins and a dumb dinosaur parrot.
And some,
Oh, axolotl?
oh,
Are they
okay.
asking if that's venomous?
Uh,
I don't know. Who knows what Condo's talking about? Who
yeah, I don't
knows?
know.
Who knows?
Um,
Oh, those dumb
those
birds
dumb
are
birds are
venomous.
venomous.
Ah, they're so weird. I wouldn't be shocked. I guess they could be nocturnal if they don't fly. You wouldn't fly into a tree.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
I wondered about the bat service dog. I have no idea. I was not allowed to listen to Ozzy growing up. I wasn't allowed to watch or listen to a lot of things. My dad was really strict about stuff, but I was never really into rock music either. I did I liked this song with Lita Ford, and I liked, that "Close Your Eyes." That was with Lita Ford.
changes is
Shout
beautiful.
Shout in the Dark was the one I liked
Um,
by him.
his
But I
ballads are
just
really pretty, like changes. Mama, I'm
Mhm.
coming home. That's pretty.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Um, I'm one of my kids are knocking on the door, and I know I just
Oh,
told
really?
them. Yeah, um That or the dogs are scratching around, which they're in here, but so yeah, there are so many birds. There's a lot to learn. I realize when you think you like know something and then all of a sudden like a strange dumb little bird pops in on the scene that you've never heard of before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I read in that news that the bird population in North America or United States in general is down by a third.
Mm.
Imagine that, a
The
third.
birds are parrots. I mean, I can't
The wild birds.
wild birds. Okay, I was gonna say I can't imagine parrots being like that because they're still being very
Oh,
overbred.
yeah, yeah. No, the songbirds and
Mm,
things. Yeah, so now I know
yeah.
it's not in my head because I know, as I'm trying to think how long ago, up until several years ago, I had a ton of wild birds visit my deck, and I fed them, all year round. I feed them, they're my friends, and the last several years, it's just there's none. There's none. I used to take video. I know I have a video on my channel that, just quietly walks through the deck in my yard, close-ups of all the birds I have, the nests, the babies, everything, and there's nothing like that now
Mhm.
at all.
We have a ton of birds and
Good.
squirrels, and I have a lot of hummingbirds too. I love hummingbirds.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I
We
do.
only have what, the eastern ruby-throated one?
I
Is that
don't
the only
know
one
what
we have?
I'm not sure. I have two different kinds here for sure.
Oh,
And I did in Ohio as well. One had like the red, and the other one had the green, and one's
that might be
bigger.
male and female. The male has
I
the
don't
red.
think so, because
No?
one they're different well, I guess it could be, but they're different sizes, because one's mean. I wanna say the green one is mean to the red, and the red one's
Yeah, the
smaller.
females are pretty vicious. Let me
Um,
see. 1, 2, 3.
but
I wanna see whoops. I wanna see, what hummingbirds are in your area. How would you Google that? Hmm.
I just put hummingbirds in South Carolina, but I'm actually close to Georgia. A ruby-throated, broad-tailed, I can't pronounce
Well, how
that.
are you so much faster than me? It's 'cause it's stupid iPad, that's what it is, not me.
Broad-billed hummingbird, I've never seen that one, but that one's pretty. Allen's hummingbird, can't pronounce
We
that
You
one.
get an Allen
Anna's,
hummingbird?
that's what it says.
Wow. I've only
I don't
seen the ruby-throated male and females.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Anna's. I've seen the ruby-throated, and I've seen the broad-tailed, I think. Think I have that one. Those 2 is what I see. I'd love to see some of these other ones, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
They could be mean little
the
things.
blue
I don't
okay.
understand it. I'll see videos
Mhm,
of somebody with a feeder, and there's a whole horde of hummers. It's really cool.
mhm,
And I know, many years ago, I walked by an apartment. They had a feeder, and I never saw hummingbird before, and I thought it was a flock of bees, giant bees, and I came across it, and it was little hummingbirds. And I don't understand. I can only have 1 or 2 at a time because they chase each other away and guard the feeders.
mhm.
I had one, I
That's how
named her
mine are.
Xena the Princess Warrior. She she would sit on my deck, and she would look back and forth. She guarded our whole yard, the yard next door, and a yard on the other side of it,
Mhm.
and no other hummers were allowed near. What am I
We
missing? If you put sugar water
condo,
into your ear.
um Lori, I like woodpeckers as well, and actually, we have a very rare woodpecker here, and I can't think of the name of it, but 2 of my daughters have seen it, and it's a huge woodpecker, and I know they're, like,
Oh,
protected and everything
pileated.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have those here, and 2 of my
Almost like a
girls have
woody
seen them.
woodpecker with the red.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and
They're huge.
I think my husband has seen them at work because they protect them at his work, and but, um, anyway, I haven't seen it yet. we have armadillos here.
Armadillos?
I mostly just see them dead, but I have when we used to camp, I've seen a couple live ones then.
Have you pet
Yeah.
one? Did you touch it?
Heck heck no, they carry leprosy. Leprosy. I ain't Jesus, I can't cure that crap.
That's a good thing you
Um,
told me because I touch
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, my daughter always says, "I wanna pet one." I'm like, "You are not petting a daggone armadillo." Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they all carry them or whatever, but yeah, I don't know that
Fairy
it's the type
stuff,
you ca yeah, but they're kinda they're gross looking. They
are
really
they?
are.
Yeah.
Um,
Not like a cartoon
like
I see.
you're a venomous condo. You better straighten up or else I'm not gonna name my next chicken after you. No. But yeah, we have that. I'm trying to think. They try to claim that we don't have gators in the water here, but we do. In fact, we've seen one at a campground.
Just like
So,
they claim in Florida, there's no crocodiles there, just alligators, and that's not true. People that live there will
mm,
tell you that it's rare, but they do have them there, especially
hmm
near the salt water.
well, I mean, I think they've found them even in Ohio before, but it's because they'll buy them and get them, and then they get too big and they put them in sewers, and that they've found a lot of stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I think there's a lot of I mean, actually, like, we're not known for bears here. I think we're 2.5 hours, I think, from, Greenville, South Carolina, which is, like, more the mountain part, the Blue Ridge, and they have bear, but we've had a couple bears here the past year. Of course, I think with
Did you
Helene,
pet them?
there's no. No, I don't mess with bears. Um, but I thought that service dog, but I still they can for a while.
I'll
They
be the
can 'cause
lady on the nightly news that went out and tried to feed a bear or something that got
yeah,
eaten. That'll be me.
yeah, um, yeah, I've seen some pretty big ones found in Ohio, so they either got put down there when they were already big or they lived for a while. I don't see how they could survive a
No,
winter.
service dogs, she's wrong. Says gators let go in sewers cannot survive. Well, the turtles that they do and like because they have the ninja turtles, they morphed. And so that's not true. There's four of them. I forget their names. One of them's Leonardo, but they survived the sewers. So I don't see why a gator wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, yeah. I had wild turkeys where I'm from. I'm they probably have them here. I don't know. They have wild boars here. They're mean. They're really mean.
Are they?
Um mhm. Yeah, I
Ani is
guess
in
like
bed, so is Ani's in bed, so is Buster and Percy.
yeah, and Earl. Yep, they're all in bed. Um
Sonny's semi in bed. We're bad with him. He doesn't have a bedtime because we don't get him out so much in the day. And
mhm.
so once Ani goes to bed, he comes out for the whole rest of the night. But I mean, sometimes we don't. So he never knows, should I go to sleep or not?
I think that cockatiels really can get by with a little bit less sleep than like cockatoos and grays and things like that. I know they always say like the parakeets only need about 9 hours of sleep. Um yeah, yeah, we're gonna see Rebecca. Oh no, that'll be Becky. That'll be your is it Becky Jean? Becky Jean will be
Yeah.
out
What
trying to
what's Becky Jean doing?
yeah, she'll try to come to my house and find an armadillo to pet.
Oh yeah. Or to eat.
Yeah.
Have you eaten one?
No, I don't no, I
Can
wouldn't
you
I
eat them?
draw the line. I don't know. Service dog, can you eat them? I oh oh I didn't see that, but I'll try to find it, Kelly. Thank you for stopping by and leaving a thumbs up and a comment. Um
Hey, Kristen.
no,
I
I
didn't
have
see
tried
cockatoo.
the only reptile I have tried, I didn't think so, is turtle. I didn't like it very well. I ate rattlesnake. It was good
Was it
actually.
snap? Well, I've had snapper soup. Is up in New Jersey in the Pine Barrens, I thought everybody had snapper soup. I didn't know that people don't
Mhm.
eat typically snapper soup, but
I would
I
really
loved it as
like
a
to try the
kid. It's
soup.
kind of
Mhm.
sweet, but I tried it after 40 years or whatever. I tried it again. I'm like, oh, how did I ever like this?
I'd like to try the soup. I tried it fried, but my cousin said she said I didn't boil it first, and I guess you're supposed to boil it and then fry it, like, a certain way, and she didn't. But we did have snake, and actually the snake was, it was good. It was really flaky and tender.
Really?
I know everything everybody always says it tastes like chicken, but it does kinda resemble chicken, but it's flaky like fish.
Oh,
I'm terrified
we
of snakes, I
pictured
can't
them
even look at them.
rubbery.
Yeah, and they made it on a grill. They did something to it, and then they made it on a grill. It was really good. It was good. I will taste things like that just to know if I can. Now I
Did you
went
pet it
frog and
first?
oh, I can't even look at a snake.
Oh,
Like,
that's great. You're
somebody had to
terrified of snakes. Should
yeah,
I get honeybee out?
yeah, no. Somebody, like, had to put it on a plate for me without even, like, the bones and all that. I can't. But I wanted to know if I needed to eat one, I could, and I can. Um, but I wanna try frog legs. I've never had frog legs.
Oh, I
I've
did.
yeah.
But it was like I said, decades
I know
ago,
they're
and I
friends, service
really
dog. I
liked
know.
them. And
Mm,
for real, they were like chicken. I really
mm,
liked them.
yeah. I know that snakes are, good for the environment. I'm just terrified. I got chased by one when I was a little girl, and my dad always said that had to be the problem. I'm absolutely, like, terrified of them. Um, I'm petrified. It's terrible to see me
And it
like that.
was this triggered by an event? Or
I'm assuming that, like, because I got chased by a little blue racer when I was little, that somehow I don't
maybe
remember it. I have no memory of it, but my dad always used to tell me that he felt like that's why. Um, I've heard they're good, like,
the frogs need their legs.
mhm,
This is frog in sign language, by the way.
that's funny. I used to know a lot of sign language. One of my really close friends' parents were deaf, and I knew a lot, but, yeah, um but yeah, I'm all up to try something. Um,
Hi,
I
AJ.
actually think a lot of times hunted food is a lot better for you than what you buy in the store anyway. But yeah.
I'm terrified of spiders.
Yeah, see, spiders don't really bother me now. If they're great, big, and giant, they do. But um, yeah, they don't really bother me like snakes. Yeah.
My son
I
tried
think
to
if
cure me, but
I think if I'd come across a bear, I think that would be frightening. They're so big. You know what I mean?
you
And
can't
I
get
can't
away.
re
My mom always said, "I'd rather run across XYZ than a bear any day." She said, "'Cause you can't get away from a bear. They can climb anything and they can
mm,
swim." So
yeah,
there's
polar
no
bears, you don't have a chance. But
really?
polar bears, you have no oh, no, you don't have a chance, you're dead. That's what Ken always says, but I always forget, the saying, is it brown lay down, black fight back? Is that the
Yeah,
right one? Okay, because I get it mixed up, and I'm afraid if I ever ran into one, I wouldn't remember which one to do, and I would probably do the wrong one, and that would be
I know. I
it, and
I heard if
I
you
wouldn't
try to surprise or antagonize a grizzly, you're dead. I mean, that
yeah,
just
yeah.
done. But black bears, you have a chance. They're kind of shy, and banging
Mhm.
around and scaring them sometimes
Yeah,
works.
yeah. But I figure I would mix it up because I would be because it would be such a stunning thing or whatever, and that I would do the wrong thing and never ever get to try frog legs. Oh.
You don't like bugs, Lori. Mm.
Oh, yeah, and you have a python, it's the easiest pet to take care of. I had a friend that had tons of snakes, like, they had gators in their basement, and they had snakes, like, all those pythons. Um,
They
most of my
are so
kids, like
easy.
Mhm.
You set them up and you're pretty much done. You feed them once a week. Um, they don't have to have special lights. They do need some heat, a heat source, but, and they're as happy as their environment is. So it's nice to have them, I mean,
What do they eat?
they eat,
Do they eat
mice.
mice? Mhm.
Yeah, and I eat them. Yeah, I eat them. I give them, pre-killed, and I always recommend pre-killed because there's no reason in the world for the mouse or rat to suffer. No reason at all,
Mhm.
you know? So, I they're pre-killed, they euthanize them, and you can buy them frozen and give them to your snake. It
Mm.
also, I don't know how true it is, but I've read that if you keep feeding them live, it also kinda increases their instincts and their predatory. I don't know if it makes them more aggressive or if that's just a wives' tale.
Mm. Mhm.
But they're sweet, they're as happy as their enclosure is. So the nicer and like more exact and natural you make their environment, they're happy. So like if you don't have time to hold them or anything, it's fine. They're happy to be left alone. So
Huh. Huh,
and they're
that's good.
okay to play with. I mean,
Mhm.
but you don't have to feel guilty if you're not giving them any time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that would be a lot easier. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I used
Other
to say that.
reptiles, you gotta have the UVB, you have to have the heat exact to the degree, you have to have a certain amount of humidity, and most pythons, they have to have a specific temperature, but it doesn't have to be exact,
Mhm.
and you don't have to measure the humidity to be exact unless you have a more unusual breed of pythons. Some of them, like oh, what did Chet have? Short-tailed, oh my god, blood python. They needed a specific kind of humidity, but
I used to be really into aquariums. I like
yeah,
freshwater. Ken likes salt. Ken had a really nice saltwater tank at one time, but I raised some angelfish, and they are the most interesting interactive fish I've
yeah,
ever been around. Yeah, like they would get like you could go in the room and sit down and none of them would come up, but when I would go sit down by their tank, they would come to me because they knew I'm the one who fed them.
yeah.
And so I could just sit and they would all come up to the glass and like swim around me and they knew me. It was really neat.
Did you have to
So
separate them from the babies when they had babies?
I never raised any babies. That was my plan, but it's kind of difficult and I never could just get my temperature right. And so I finally gave them to somebody that knew how to do it right. And we were gonna move too, and so I let a friend of mine take them, and I don't know if he ever did end up raising them or not, but I just couldn't get the temperature right.
How long did you
And
have a saltwater tank?
he had that, 3 or 4 years, and then we just kept having trouble in the winter with our power going out, and at that particular time, we didn't have a generator, and
Oh,
he was
wow,
just
yeah.
afraid that they were gonna end up dying, and so he sold it all off. He says that someday, maybe when he retires he had a beautiful one.
Did he?
He had, yeah, I can't remember what all he had some clownfish and well, and then when he got rid of the big one, he did go to we got him a small one for Christmas one year, and he kept a couple clownfish for a few years. But again, it's so hard in the wintertime in Ohio, and, like, it we wouldn't be an issue here, but well, we have a generator now, but, there, like, because we didn't have a generator for so many years, it was terrible, so and
We,
we always at
you have
least
to
get 1 or
learn. You really
2.
have to learn what you're doing with a salt tank
Yeah.
compared to a freshwater.
Yeah, I feel like Ken had the smarts for it, and, like, I can do the freshwater.
Yeah.
That was yeah, I'm more of a freshwater. There's just so much, like it's not that I couldn't learn how to do it, I could, but it's just so technical and
It
You
is.
have to keep up with it.
It
Whereas
is.
if you let your freshwater tank go a couple days, they don't care. Right?
Right.
They're used to living in goopity goop, whatever, you know.
Right.
Now, granted, there are some freshwater that do, and there are some that need that reverse osmosis
Oh,
and all
really?
that.
They do?
So there are some, but there are some that are more difficult or whatever. But for the most part, especially like goldfish, you know, I
Really?
know people that win goldfish at like fairs, and then they outgrow the tank and they put them in a pond, and they live forever. Um,
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was never into goldfish. They poop too much, but they are really good
I've
for
heard that. I heard they're
ecosystem.
dirty, so it's you gotta really keep it up, the
But
water.
it's funny they're not really though. Like their water and stuff is great for oh gosh, what is that called? When you like grow vegetables in water. I can't think of what that's called, but
Hydro
hydro, yeah. That kind of stuff,
really?
that water is great for that. Most of them use goldfish in that. Um, I actually have one of those little back to the roots one where I grew little like plants and stuff in it. But it's too small. They just outgrow it so fast. So, but yeah, it's really interesting how that all works together. I think that's probably a lot of what's wrong with our vegetables and things today is like we don't do those types of things to them anymore. Hydroponics,
Naturally.
thank you, service dog. Yeah. Um,
People
I've
now,
missed
they like
something.
keeping, they're keeping fish tanks now so natural, nice. They,
Mhm.
grow, like, plants, so the plants are on top of the tank, so they don't have a lid, and the plants are just growing naturally
Yeah.
out of the
Mhm.
tank, so especially if you have betta fish,
Yeah.
and people do something called, dark water,
Mm.
and I was like, "What is that?" That's when they like to put a lot of wood in their tanks, and it turns it real dark and natural, so
Hmm.
it's like a reddish tan color. I did it, I did not like it at all. I was like, "No,
Hey,
this is
Lucky Lou.
it's not for me," so I
See, I
changed
always
that.
if I heard of a dark tank, I thought that meant your septic was leaking. Like, you got gray water and brown water. That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Who just came in?
Lucky Lou.
"Oh, hey, how are you? Fine." We're talking about, let's see, what'd you miss? We talked about Ozzy Osbourne's funeral
Mhm.
possession. Oh my gosh, procession. And I went into detail about what happened there. We talked about fish tanks, and we talked about pythons, and we talked about this bird for those that just came in called a kakapo. And I'll show
I
a
had
picture.
never had heard of a cockapoo. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it correctly. Oh, well, there's always drama when, Condo's in the room.
Oh yeah.
Condo's venomous tonight, we missed that. Yeah, venomous is the
Yeah,
word
there've
of the
been many
day.
venoms going on. We talked about armadillos and the diseases they carry. Oh, and how to protect yourself against bears. And
Mhm.
this is a kakapo. This is the dumbest parrot in the world and the rarest parrot in the world. And they're ground birds and nocturnal.
And they apparently like to try and mate on men's heads.
Yeah, I was going to show her that people that just came in, bring it up.
Oh, we
Oh,
did
there's
talk
an
about
ad.
bears, that's right.
So many ads on YouTube now. And you have no
Yeah.
choice if you have your own. Used to be if you had your own channel, you didn't want ads on them, you didn't have ads on them. But YouTube wasn't making any money that way.
Mhm.
So whether you like it or not, they put ads on your channel. So you either hopefully monetized so that you can get some money from those ads, but if not, they're making all the money off you.
Mhm.
Okay, now where is the
I don't get the number 1, number 2, number 3 thing anyway. I'm not exactly sure because that's something new for me anyway. I don't know what they mean.
The number 1, 2, or 3 thing.
Yeah, where they have the crown and it's the number 1. How are you doing, Danita? How's your arm?
And I can't find what I showed everybody. It came right up before. And I don't want to spoil it in case I find it and say what it is, what they do.
Oh.
Oh well. Guess I'm not. If it was not an iPad and it was Android, I'd be able to find it really quick. But like
God.
going back and forth to different pages, I'm bad at it.
Just like a human paying your way through. That was very nice
Okay,
of
that
you,
was
Condo.
pronounced kakapo. All right. At
Kakapo,
least I
okay.
learned that. Oh well. All the Ozzy Osbourne things coming up today.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of been nice on Facebook because instead of politics, when he passed away, all I kept seeing was Ozzy come up, and he was such a funny guy. You know,
Mhm.
I got a kick for days. I've been watching all his little interviews and all his jokes, and he played terrible jokes on people.
Yeah. Him and his son had a show for a while, and it was actually really interesting. Ken watched it, where they traveled.
Oh, really?
Um, it was I can't remember the name of it, but Ken used to watch it, and he really enjoyed it. And um, yeah.
He has, I don't know now that his dad passed away, but he had a popular podcast,
Mm.
and that was going on, and he had his mother and Kelly and dad, and that was that was interesting. It really was. They're
He,
entertaining people.
mm.
Oh, I think I found it. I did. Yeah, I did. And the bird isn't being nice. He's a little confused. They're not very smart. So in the wild, they'll come right up to you, and this guy's a little confused, and he's trying to mate with this man's head.
Crazy.
Scott comes home tonight. I'm going to do that to him.
Just
I'm going to say I learned a new way to have sex.
oh god. Oh.
Oh,
Um.
it's money.
Yeah, Condo did.
Yeah,
He bought his way to the crown. He benefited from it because
thank you
Danita was
so
number 1.
much.
So yeah.
Spending time with your birds, Danita. Okay.
Mm, yeah. I think we're on a different time zone. I have mine on like a 6 to 6 schedule. Well, actually I uncover them at 5, but but I allow myself that grace period. So
Well, how come Danita has a crown and a number 2 next to her name?
I'm not quite sure what all of that means, but I think
Nifty. I want a crown.
because like I know when Service Dog first got here, it had said number 1, and then
Really?
Amanda got here, she was number 2. I think it's your top 5 or something. I'm not
Hmm.
sure. Mhm.
Well, Condo's got that number
Excuse
1
me.
next to him, huh?
Well, he paid for it.
He's so happy, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, his is lighter purple than Danita's is more of a blue.
Mm. Yeah.
Yes, your 2 puppies are precious.
Yeah, they
I've been
are.
watching those puppies grow, Danita. It's been really
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
been Coco's responses have been really funny
Bobo,
through
come
the whole
here.
thing.
Bobo. Handsome Bobandsome. Heel. Come here. Let me show you my big baby.
Bobo!
Come here. Come on. I'll get you too, Max. Here's my big baby.
There's
Yes,
Bobo.
Bobo. He just got
Giant
groomed
dog.
and
Who
he's
had
so
the
handsome.
biggest dogs?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing like a big dog. It's
Yeah.
just little dogs are just different, you know?
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Bo got groomed yesterday, so his ears are all fluffed up and he's so
I see that.
soft. Yeah.
It's shiny.
Oh, yeah. He's a good boy. You hear my 140-pound Newfie poo drinking water?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I don't know if Max can get up here because he's old.
Oh,
Yeah. Back up, Bobo. Maxie, can you get up here? Come here, Maxie Waxie. Oh my goodness. You was such a big boy. This is my big boy, Maxie.
he's got, look at his head is just huge.
Oh,
How
he's
old is he?
huge. He's between 13 and 15 years old.
Ooh,
Um, he had been tied to a tree and left to die. And he was starving when we got him. And he's the best. And he scares people. Like, I had a very strange person show up at my house today. And he's very he's got a very vicious and loud bark. So yeah.
there's a very special place for people like that that did to him what
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, definitely Bo was neglected, but they knew enough and they got, but yeah, go around a tree. That's all he could do. It took me a year to teach him to walk with a leash in a straight line. And still to this day when he gets nervous, he'll spin. Not like he did when we first.
Yeah. Yeah. When I had ferrets, I kept the ages staggered, so I didn't lose too many at one time. I kept them, so there was always a baby, and I had, an elder. So everybody always had a friend too, so nobody would be left alone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, she said I'm lagging. I forgot to turn my Wi-Fi off and use my
Well, you're
like my
working good
5G.
now. You stopped
Okay,
lagging
because
now.
my internet. Well, we did have some storms earlier as well, so and our my internet just acts up all the time anyway. So I normally turn my internet off and just use um my 5G, and
Yeah.
it works a lot better. Actually, so yeah, but yeah, that's how I feel, and I like big dogs. I feel safer with big dogs, especially when you have strange people show up at your door all the time.
Do you?
I seem to have a lot of people just show up at my driveway. Yeah, I really think the guy was interested in asking if I was selling a car. Because I'll explain that some other time. But anyway, that's kind of what I think. But it was still just incredibly odd. Um, and yeah, we had a kid show up um, high under the influence of something, likely meth, like 11 o'clock at night, and asked if he could come in and take a bath and sit for a while. Yeah,
That's terrifying.
it was pretty he was harmless. I'm actually to be honest, I'm glad he showed up here because we knew he was harmless.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I think somebody else it could've it went badly for him.
What'd you
Um,
do?
we told him to
Mhm.
leave.
Did you?
We called the police too because he was walking on our road, and you know how busy my road is, and
Yeah.
it was dark out. It was 11 o'clock at night. Um, but, like, my dogs didn't scare him off or anything. He was totally, oh, yeah, I let him in. Yeah. No, I don't take too kindly to people showing up at my house unannounced. It's a trigger of mine. I don't like that. Um, yeah. So
All you had to do
that
is show
is
them Buster,
yeah, yeah. I
a
know.
catbird.
Yeah. Well, and that's like the guy that stood at the door for a really long time. Like Max was going insane. He was absolutely having no part of it. So, but anyway, um, but
What's on your shirt?
I
Is that a cockatoo?
it's an old Buster the
Hey,
Cockatoo
that's
shirt.
pretty. What's it say on top?
Uh,
Because the letters are backwards.
Buster. Oh, I survived Action Park.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Um, it was pretty wrinkled. It's been in the back of my closet. So, but now I had a good friend of mine from back home actually draw pictures of Buster and Earl. I need to get to commission him to do one for Percy. I wanted my merch to like be a little more animated, like a cartoon, because I feel like
Yeah,
Buster and them are so cartoonish in a way, like animated. And I really wanted something like that. So I have different ones now. But this was when my daughter first started. My daughter has started, I think she's on her third merch page because Etsy's really difficult to work with, but that's her
little
choice.
complicated or
Eh,
something to do.
well, if just one thing goes wrong, they shut your page down and then it's just kind of complicated. But
Wow,
I really I hope she'll go to T Public or something like that eventually. But I don't know how to do um I don't know how to really do run those things. It's just too techy
really?
for me. And she does help me with Earl if I have to go somewhere and she keeps Earl, so I don't mind her doing the merch and being able to make the money. So
I've had great luck with Zazzle. They have a lot of
mm,
products. I've been surprised that the Teespring that runs underneath my
mhm,
videos, I've been surprised those
mhm,
have been good quality. Super
yeah.
easy to work with.
Uh, Danita, these are custom drawn ones by a popular artist in southeastern Ohio. I use a friend of ours, and I just wanted to do something different instead of just like have a stock. Now, on the Etsy page she has now, she actually does. She will offer both. Like she'll offer the one that Langley drew, and she'll also offer just a stock photo of a cockatoo. Um, so she's still working on it and adding things. So um, yeah, my dogs. They let themselves be known. What I like about Bo is but when I tell Bo when he's just starting to bark. Max is teaching him. But when I tell him, "Okay, Bobo, I know they're here," I let him know that it's okay, and he'll stop barking. Max will not. And he's, kind of too old to. I've worked
Yeah,
and worked and worked with him. I just don't seem to be able to get it out of him. But Bo gets it. He barks and lets me know, and when I tell him it's okay, then he'll stop.
I forget how
Um,
old is Bobo?
he's 4.
4.
He's 4. Yeah,
He still acts
yeah,
like a puppy.
he does. Well, I that's kind of common in a standard. He's got Great Dane in him too. He doesn't look like it, but I actually have seen pictures of his parents
Mhm.
and I've seen pictures of his litter mates. They're giant like Max. He wasn't the runt, she said, but he's smaller than the other ones. So, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't that's good to know. Cartoon ones don't sell online or don't
Mhm.
sell that well, Danita says. I've
Yeah.
never tried to sell the cartoony ones. I like them myself. I like cartoony looking animals,
Mhm.
but yeah, none of the ones I have on Zazzle or anything are cartoony. Chet drew me a
Yeah.
cartoon Ani
Mm.
and as a logo, and I eventually just used a real life picture of Ani for a logo instead.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah,
But
I
I
d I
like them. I like them. They're cute.
yeah. I paid somebody to draw, like I said, it was a friend of mine, he's an artist, and I paid him to he actually sent me, like, the original painting, I have those. Um, I had 'em, hanging, like, with my plaque from YouTube and all that, but then when we changed the office, I haven't hung them back up yet. Um, I mean, she's not selling a lot. She sold some, but I do think she would do better on like a T Public or Zazzle or one of those with the link. But she likes the format of Etsy. She says she feels like it's easier
Yeah,
to
you get
do.
used to something.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, he does a lot of what do you call it? Marvel. Yeah, so he probably is.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have lots of venomous things
Yeah.
tonight, Anita.
As Amanda said, the word of the night is venomous, brought to you
Venomous.
by Condo. Yeah.
Yes, that's the word of the night.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's the that but I found this tonight. I try to like rotate my shirts because I feel like I wear the same thing like every 4 days because I don't live out of a laundry basket either. I mean, I wash and dry and put away right away. But yeah.
What are people
Yeah,
saying?
I don't mess around either, Joanne, but um
Joanne, what do you have?
she just had something she has stuff to protect herself if needed, if
No,
strangers
but
show
she's
up.
got
I think
oh,
she's
I
talking.
thought she meant she had something in general, animal-wise, that she's gotta keep an eye on and protect
Mhm.
against. I think I was just reading what she said wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. My
Okay,
shirt my
kind of.
my other shirts were venomous, so, had
Oh,
to do
that one's
this. Yeah.
okay. Alright.
Mhm. Yeah. It's funny though, at my house, when my dogs are barking at you, you really never know if it's a dog or my birds or both. Um,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah, because
Ani barks. Ani the
mhm.
cockatoo barks, but it doesn't sound as real. He just never quite got the sound, So
Yeah.
yeah.
So Buster can get pretty loud. I think he cries like a baby better than he barks like a dog, personally. But Earl can sound just like our dogs. He knows how to do, but he's not as loud as Buster. He saves that for his screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there
I
was one
tried to teach
day
Johnny to meow like a cat. There's something about going meow, but it triggers him. He'll
I've
he'll come
heard
after me.
cockatoos do it, but Buster doesn't do it. I've
I
tried to get
tried
him to
so
do it
hard
as
for
well.
years, like,
Mhm.
when he's in the cage walking around and doing it and everything, and just he never has done it. Buttons the cockatoo does it. It's adorable. And he does it when he sees a cat. He knows that, meow is a cat.
Mhm. Yeah, I know there's some of them that do it. I've heard them. But yeah, I uh I haven't got and Earl doesn't meow like a cat, and I feel like he really could. I don't
Yeah.
have a cat, but I have tried to play the noise for him. Earl's too busy telling everybody they're a jerk.
Service dog Pisano wanted me to teach Johnny to crow like a rooster.
That would be cool.
I
Yeah.
I did try for a little while when he was young, and I should have really gotten him going doing it because that would have been too funny. I didn't
Mhm.
try hard and long enough.
Yeah. Um, House law. Oh,
Alazani with
yeah.
his attacking, not good. Not good at all. He got me really bad on my hand. Now it was all bloomed up. It's calming down now, but it's bad. He lets me we in the morning, we wake up and have the routine where he comes out of his cage and we sit on the couch, and he likes me to kinda groom him, and we love together, and he'll do that for about 45 minutes or so, and then he decides he's had enough, and he'll kinda go on his way, and I'm happy to just sit in there with him while he plays, but he doesn't want me in there, and he chases me out of his room, bites at my ankles. And so, I pretty much don't hold him through the day. I walk him back and forth between his cage and his playroom, whenever he wants to go back and forth. And then, I put him into bed at night. He lets me hold him and go back to the bedroom and kiss him and hug him goodnight, and if he's behind bars, he is
Mhm.
sweet as can be. He'll sit there and stay with me all night and pet and everything. I'm like, "Why can't you do that?" You know? With
Yeah.
Scott, he's great with Scott. Scott gets him up in the morning, puts him on his shoulder even, makes me nervous, and, he walks around and he cooks breakfast, and Ani's there, he cooks his
Yeah.
breakfast and
With Ken.
everything,
Yeah. Same with
and,
Ken and
he takes
Buster.
a shower, with Scott, and so Scott can do anything with him. When we take him out, like, outside, he doesn't go after me, but his new thing is in the car. 10
Mhm.
years, the one nice thing we could do was take him in the car, and if we wanted him loose, we could. Um, we can't now. He now the car is his territory, and Scott he's
Mhm.
protecting. So, we
Yeah.
we can't take him out even for 1 second, which is a bummer.
Yeah. I even like when it used to be like when Ken was doing something, or if he would come over where I'm doing the dishes or whatever, or if he was cooking breakfast, because he cooks us breakfast on the weekends and I could do the dishes where I did it. But now Buster will try, he doesn't like me to be that close or something, and he'll start doing that, or he'll get on Ken's head where he could do a swoop to try
Oh,
to get me. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, yeah.
I told
Um,
Scott, "Don't you ever have him on your shoulder or not secure if I'm in walking into the room
Yeah, yeah.
or something."
I have to watch him. Sometimes we just tell him, like, "You have to go play." I will say this, one thing about Buster, he does listen. I've even gotten him now where I tell him, like, so, for example, he'll attack me if I go in his room during the day, at all. And I had the trip the breaker yesterday, and I just told him, I said, "Buster, I need you to go in your cage because I have to come in there." He went straight into his cage and let me shut him in there. And I
Wow.
went in and flipped the breaker back, and because the breaker box, that's where it's at. And then I let him right back out. I mean, we have a good relationship in one way, but he
Right.
doesn't want me to hold him, and that's fine. I respect that. I can give him scritchies and stuff. I don't do it on camera because he knows I'm on cam when I'm filming, and he doesn't like that. It's almost like he doesn't like a teenager, like, "I don't want you to show anybody I let you touch me," you know? But
I
he
think they
doesn't
get
like for
jealous.
me.
I think Ani gets jealous of me holding a TV controller, a phone, you know?
Mhm.
Sonny gets a
Yeah.
little jealous of the keyboard, so I try to type on a keyboard, and he runs down, and he gets on the keyboard and kinda pecks at my fingers and the keys, and
Mhm.
so he doesn't like that. Well,
Yeah.
it's 1 o'clock. I mean, sorry, it's been 1 hour
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, it's after 8:30. Yeah, I probably need to take my boys out for the night
Yeah,
and give them their
I need to get Sonny out and
TREAT.
feed some animals,
Yeah.
refill my
So 2
water that is about
yeah, I got
gone.
about to have some more well water. I love my well water. This is not Shine, I promise you, just came from a well.
Oh my
Um,
god.
no troll. Well, Rebecca doesn't get them. I have the trolls and the weirdos that show up at my door. Um, so don't worry, service dog, 2 weeks, you'll get your workout.
Yeah, yeah, there you go, there
Uh,
you go.
yeah. I don't know, and
Bye,
Amanda has
Joanne.
worked really hard to put in keywords and things like that where you can't. I mean, the only other thing I know to do, and I might try this next time, is that to only allow people that are subscribed for more than 5 minutes to comment. I know you can do that. I don't
Hmm,
know how, but so I might try to do that and then take that off after the live is over. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So I might
Yeah,
try that,
yeah.
but yeah, but 2 weeks will, and my
2
live is
weeks
tomorrow,
on
11.
Jennifer's channel, Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Buster the Cockatoo's channel.
And drop some comments on what you guys wanna us to talk
Yeah, what
about.
would you
Well, I
like to
do wanna
talk
go
about?
back more into I wanna look more into this bird. That was really interesting. And thank you, Service Dog and Amanda for moderating. And
Don't eat it. You can't
thank
eat it, Jen.
yeah, and yeah, I can't eat
You
it.
can't
And
no, you can't eat that one.
no, No, just squirrels. And thank you, Condo, for the word of the night, venomous. Everyone
Yes,
remember.
venomous.
Yeah, yeah.
Venomous. I'm gonna go
So
get my venomous cockatiel out.
yeah. And then tomorrow I'll be live at 11 Eastern Standard Time if anybody wants to come check us out. The trolls aren't too bad on Thursdays, so
They're
this was
busy.
fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
good night, everybody.
Night. See you later, Rebecca.
Okay. I gotta figure out how to turn this off now. Okay, guys, I gotta turn this off. Okay, for real. Bye-bye.